began with a handful of women has quickly evolved into a support of welcoming both experienced golfers and complete beginners. Golf coach Emmanuel Wekesa has watched the shift happen through time. More women are taking lessons, earning handicap, and entering tournament.
Golf was a sport for men, but so far what I'm seeing, it has really changed. And the impact it's a good thing, because women, they are really playing, they love the sport, because each and every day, at least I get a referral from the different ladies and those who want to start. And I get new ladies, and they are doing very well. And to be honest, I'm happy with them. The progress, they are doing very well so far. Most of them, they have got a handicap. They participate in tournaments, and considering this few years from 2021 and up to now, it's amazing. They're playing, they're enjoying, they're winning.
The movement is already inspiring a younger generation. Through partnership with organizations like Girl Up, girls are being introduced to golf as a pathway to confidence, opportunity, and global exposure.
Were invited by Girls Who Golf, Madam Jacqueline, who is like our vice now. We're Gala, a UN organization for girls, supporting girls at all. So we were called for the golf clinic, and we were like, oh, why not, sis? We're not that good in golf, so we're here for training and all. And in the near future, with golfing, I hope and wish that to take me like abroad, further my golfing. Golf is not that easy, but okay, there's nothing easy. So you just have an open mind, be ready to learn, and get the best from what you're being given here.
For many of the girls, golf is no longer seen as an impossible sport. It is becoming a space where they can dream bigger.
Jackie is an amazing leader. Working with her is excellent, because she has a way of cutting across from dealing with us who are a bit experienced to those who have never really held a club. And what I love most about her is her soft heart for the underprivileged. And that is why, for me and her, we ride.
At the heart of Girls Who Golf is inclusion. With the seasoned players or first-timers, every woman is encouraged to step forward and take her shot. Across Kenya's fairways, the sound of change is growing louder. With every swing, every lesson, and every new golfer stepping onto the course, these women are reshaping the future of the sport, proving that golf belongs to everyone.
Global recognition at 17, Nafisa Abdullahi Aminu from Yoruba State made history, becoming the world's best in English at the 2025 10-Ego Global Finals in London. Nafisa topped over 20,000 competitors from 69 countries, including many from native English-speaking nations. She excelled across comprehension, writing, grammar, and public communication. Her victory exemplifies both personal brilliance and the rise in quality of education in Nigeria. Her family credited Nafisa's success to dedication, discipline, and the enabling support of the Yoruba State government under Governor Mai Mala Buni's scholarship-driven reforms at NTIC. They've called on the federal government to formally give Nafisa the deserved respect and recognition. Prominent voices have joined the call. Former Minister Professor Isa Ali Pantami urged that Nafisa receive rewards alongside Nigerian sports champions, such as the 3-bedroom flat, $100,000 and national recognition (ON). Former Vice President Atiku Abubakar described her achievement as proof that the Nigerian girl child can excel globally if given the right support. Nafisa joins a growing generation of Nigerian teenagers making waves worldwide, like Amara Umwuneli, 17-year-old winner of the 2025 Earth Prize for turning a Lagos Dome into a community playground using recycled materials. John Oseni, 20, awarded the Global Child Prodigy Award in 2022 for software innovation. And Kanya Tagbo Okeke, 15, creator of a Guinness World Record 12,304 square meters canvas to champion autism awareness. These stories affirm a powerful truth. When Nigerian youths are nurtured through scholarship, discipline and quality education, they don't just compete, they lead on the world stage. Should the federal government reward Nafisa Abdullahi Aminu like the Super Falcons? Share your thoughts in the comment section.
The death of Ali Khamenei marks a major turning point in global geopolitics, placing him among a group of world leaders whose rule ended through violence, military intervention, or targeted operations rather than peaceful political transition. Khamenei, who led Iran since 1989, spent decades confronting the United States and its allies over regional influence, sanctions, and Iran's nuclear ambitions. His reported killing in a foreign military strike reflects how geopolitical rivalry can escalate to the point where leadership itself becomes a strategic target. The fate of 7 leaders, in particular, illustrates how power struggles, ideological conflicts, and international intervention have repeatedly converged to end political reigns through force. In Libya, Muammar Gaddafi was killed on 20th October 2011 during the NATO-backed airstrike against his forces. Death ended more than 4 decades of rule but left Libya politically fragmented. In Iraq, Saddam Hussein lost power after the Iraq War. He was captured by U.S. forces and executed on 30 December 2006, closing a long and controversial era in Iraqi politics. Egypt experienced a dramatic political assassination when Anwar Sadat was killed on 6 October 1981 by Islamist militants during a military parade in Cairo, partly in reaction to his peace agreement with Israel. In West Africa, revolutionary leader Thomas Sankara was killed in a coup on 15 October 1987, ending a radical reform project that had begun only 4 years earlier. The early years of African independence saw a similar tragedy with Patrice Lumumba, who was executed on 17 January 1961 during a Cold War power struggle that involved both domestic rivals and foreign interests. More recently, Chad's longtime president, Idriss Deby, died on 20th April 2021 after being wounded while visiting troops fighting rebels in northern Chad, abruptly ending 3 decades of rule. Across different regions and decades, these cases reveal a critical reality of international politics. When geopolitical tensions escalate, leaders themselves can become central targets in the struggle for power. Their deaths rarely end the conflict surrounding them. Instead, they often trigger new instability, reshape regional politics, and leave lasting consequences for their countries and the global order.
S24 television, where we're discussing conflict memory in the newest of archives from the Conflict Memory Center by John Costa, who lives in Leicester and is from London, or will I say is from the United Kingdom. And before we went on that short break, we said to look importantly how the new archive will help people better understand the lasting impacts of Nigerian civil war and the ongoing crisis across the Sahel. Mr. John, how do you think that works?
Well, I think it's about finding people that have memory of that time, or memories, maybe they were children and they've got specific stories to share from parents, either that participated on either side of the conflict. They were part of the secessionist troops that, crossed the Niger on their way to Lagos. They were thinking of, how Nigeria having their own state of Biafra was going to benefit them, right through to maybe people that were on the other side, opposing them and thinking, well, these people are here to fragment the state. Nigeria needs to move forward as a collective. Then I think there's those memories of children. I think one of the things that I doing the research was very much around the role that radio played in people hearing about, that they were going to be breaking away, the role that radio played over that 3 years about, the progress they were making and stuff. And then also is thinking about some of the things that happened post the conflict. Did suddenly, when the peace agreement come about, was Nigeria suddenly a better place? Had it learned anything? What are the lessons? And are we still learning those lessons today? Or are we not even learning those lessons today? So for me, I think it's important that by looking through an historical lens, it allows you to have a contemporary view of it, because it's like, well, do we still have those beliefs? Do we still have people that want to break away? If we're not including people in the conversations of a modern Nigeria moving forward, making sure that they're still included, that we can look at through these lenses and see whether that's true or not.
Yeah, you're working in partnership with us at S24 Television on this archive. Could you explain how that collaboration will work?
Well, I think what's really important is when talking to you about S24 Television and what the vision was, it was very much around having news that was made in northern Nigeria, about northern Nigeria, that not only was beneficial to people in the local area, in Abuja, but in the northern states, but also maybe help to educate a little bit and shine a slightly different light on people that are in the south about what life in the north was like. There are positive stories, there are people making progress, there are people trying to be inclusive, maybe fight some of the stereotypes that people have about people from northern Nigeria. And I think also we need to have this international lens, which is, showing to the global north that Africa has the ability, particularly Nigeria, to deal with its own issues. It needs some help. Other ways it's leading. But if there's a positive story, is it being shared in that way, or is it we don't want it because it's a positive story from Africa? And I think, reaching out to the diaspora as well, which is, come back home and maybe give Nigeria a chance, and maybe some of the skills and experiences that you've got have a way of being able to help that. And I think this project, working with S24 Television, gives us some access to voices and equipment and people that we wouldn't normally talk to if it was done in a virtual way, say in a third-party country working with someone from the diaspora. The fantastic thing about this particular archive is it can be based here at S24 Media House. It can take the opportunity to talk to everybody about what their memories of that, and suddenly something as simple as a vox pop, which is normally, what do you think? Have you enjoyed it? Did you like the event? Would you come again? Suddenly becomes about, well, we've also got this strand that runs through what we do at S24 Television, which is supporting this international archive, which is actually trying to get Nigerian people to reflect back on its own history and some of those prejudices, because I should imagine that some of the guys in the studio here will have views or memories or things to share about family stories that relate to that time, or maybe something that someone said to them casually since in a work environment that relates to where they're from or what their particular belief systems are. And I think it's important if we can shine a light on some of those things. It just makes us all a little bit more aware that something that's coming up for its 60th anniversary in 2027, when there is a presidential election, is something that still very much resonates as if it's a raw nerve, waving in the air now.
Nearly 1 in 3 basic school teachers, about 33.3%, are not properly qualified to teach. That's over 492,000 teachers across Nigeria. Nigeria is reimagining education with a brand new curriculum. One built around technology, entrepreneurship, critical thinking, and our rich cultural roots. It's designed for today's world, but the path ahead is anything but straightforward. This isn't just about more subjects, it is about better ones. Teaching kids to code, to think critically, to create, the goal is simple. Equip students not just to pass exams, but to build businesses, land jobs, and drive innovation in Nigeria. Here is the hard truth. Nearly 1 in 3 basic school teachers, about 33.3%, are not properly qualified to teach. That's over 492,000 teachers across Nigeria. And our classrooms are stretched thin. Only 915,913 teachers serve more than 31.7 million students. How do you teach tech without knowing it, when classrooms are overcrowded and under-resourced? We've seen what's possible. Regions investing in teacher development deliver better results. Without real investment, proper training, updated tools, and timely funding, this promising curriculum risks staying on paper. Yet, change remains possible. With collective focus and investment, Nigeria's students can genuinely access education that empowers rather than confines. Nigeria's curriculum reboot could be transformative. Now, the question is ours. Will we turn the promise of a brighter education into reality for every child? Please share your opinion with us on our comment section.
The musky smell of rain-soaked earth wafts through the air in Tsohondaba, Karshi, a community about 38 kilometers away from the Abuja city center.
To gaskiya dai tun daga aka bude wannan daba an kai shekara kusan 15, amma ni gaskiya shekaran da na fara zuwa bana shekara 9 kenan daga na fara bin wannan hanya. Lokacin ana biyan 500 har yanzu ya zama ana biyan 2,000 da ake biya yanzu kenan. Wurin da ake kaiwa cikin daji shine gun masu tonon zinare, su ne suke aikin wannan dajin, da kuma mazauna cikin dajin masu noma, da kuma wanda suke dawowa cikin dajin suna zama a ciki.
After 30 minutes on a motorbike, braving bumpy rocks and potholes, we reach a private mining camp. This site is rich with figments of gold and other rare earth materials. In the early hours, the water is fresh and clear. But by noon, it turns brown. Locals say chemicals turn the water this color. Some use mercury, which acts like a magnet to bind flecks of gold from the soil.
Zinari ne, ja ne amma to abin da yasa yanzu kaga ya koma fari ko to mun sa mai chemical ne saboda ya dunkule wuri daya.
But the toxic chemicals can seep into natural waterways. Mercury is so toxic it not only pollutes water but also causes organ failure and brain damage. The miners dig up to 9 feet to find soil sediments with gold deposits.
Shi wannan aikin na zinari muna tona rami ne, which is muna iya tona rami gaba 11 fiye da haka. Kuma mu yi step which is muna ce da shi matakala a Hausance, har down. Step na farko, idan ka kai step na farko sai ka kunna fitilanka sabida me daga nan zuwa down wuri ne wanda duhu ne.
Step na biyu za ka da.
Yanzu step na biyu za ni. Yanayin condition din daban yake da step na farko. Nan yanzu sanyi za ka dinga ji har ka kai ga step na uku. Kuma wurin ba haske duhu ne.
and welcome to Creative Music, Fashion, and anything that has to do with the entertainment and creative industry. My name is Samira Osman Adam, and I will be your host for today. Today in the show, we'll be looking